What lesson took me? Stop trying to not lose. Stop that. Just try to play what you know. Let the chips fall where they may. All right. How do you protect yourself? Don't let that bar get violated by much. If the market removes your clearing bar, get out. So what? That's one of a few that will happen that way. So what? Move on. I've always told you that trading is a microcosmic version of life. It teaches us in a microcosmic way how to handle life on a more macro scale, on a more macro level. The most successful lives throughout history have learned how to deal with failure, how to deal with setbacks, how to deal with loss. You understand? You accept that life has losses. No poker champion tries to win every single hand. That is stupid. No poker champion expects every hand to be a win, doesn't get upset, doesn't get destroyed, doesn't seek psychological counseling when one hand is a loss. It's part of playing poker. The biggest losers in the world are those who can't handle loss when life hands them to them. I don't want that to be you. There is a grace in accepting loss and moving on. There is a maturity in accepting loss and moving on. So I want you to stop obsessing about, is this trade going to lose? If it is an event that you know, if you can put a name on it, it's an elephant, it's a tail, it's a 180, it's an RBI, it's a freaking clearing bar. And if the location's not stupid, get your locations right, traders. Then it is your duty, it is your destiny to hit the freaking entry button. This is how you're going to grow. You're not going to grow obsessing on the sidelines. You're not going to grow declining 80% of the trades that come by because you're scared that the trade's going to lose. You're not going to progress that way. There is a direct link between how much you lose, how often you lose in the beginning, and how successful you are at the end. The biggest losers, the most frequent losers in the beginning turn out statistically to be the better traders. The ones that have tried to protect themselves against loss. The ones that have been scared to lose turn out to be the worst traders statistically. This is another example of how trading is a microcosmic version of life. As a parent, I am so glad I understood this very early on in my parenthood. I fought the notion of overprotection. protecting my kids. I let them fall. I let them scrape their knee. I threw the ball hard when we practiced baseball. I let them get hit with the ball sometimes. When we played dodgeball, I kicked the ball hard. I would beat them at chess and checkers. I didn't let them win. And I would laugh. Even when they cried, I would laugh. If any of my kids would get upset for losing, I would actually want to make them lose even more. And let me tell you this, when they sucked, I told them, you suck. That's terrible what you did. I didn't create some fanciful idea that life is going to be kind to you. When you lose, when you win, it doesn't matter. You still get a trophy. No, my kids understood that, listen, I taught them that life is not supposed to be easy. I don't get this idea. I don't know where the vast majority of people have gotten this from, guys. I'm sorry for getting off on this tangent. I'll tie it back to trading in a minute because it's so important. But I don't know where people get, I don't know what book people read that makes them feel that, or that's taught them that life is supposed to be easy, that trading is supposed to be easy. Like you take a course and now you're a trader, or you read a book and now you're a trader, or you listen to you watch an Oliver Velez video and now you know how to trade. Like, really? I don't know what. Maybe their parents taught them that. Maybe their parents rewarded them for everything. I don't know. Maybe their parents said, oh, it's okay. Oh, you failed. I never did that. I never did that with my kids. If they suck, they suck. You sucked. Like, you got to practice more. What are you doing? That was terrible. Because that's how life is going to be. And so what this did with them, it made them not fearful to actually lose. You know, it made them not crumble and walk away because they lost, because someone says something bad to them or negative, or life at this moment didn't go their way. All right, didn't go my way this time. I'll get them next time. They didn't grow up being fragile, that you have to always speak nice to them, because I didn't. And I knew the value of teaching them loss. Their mother used to say, why don't you let them win? I said, one day, these little kids, they're gonna beat me like I'm the kid. Let me have my time. And I never let them win. But there was a day where my sons started beating me in chess. And there was nothing I could do about it. Then they had their laugh. There were days my kids could throw a football and I couldn't catch it. It would slip through my hands, it was so hard. So, when I revert this to trading, I don't want you going into your trading days being afraid that this is going to be another losing day. So what? Or that this trade might not work. So what? Suck it up, deal with it, move on. Try to crack the losing trade open, find out if you did something wrong, write that down, and move into the next trade. Do you follow what I'm saying, traders? I don't want wimpy traders. Guys, trading with one lot is harder than trading with two lots. I know you can get your play to one lot. Once you're at one lot, it's no longer yours anymore. It's the system's, right? Let the system, let your trailing stop system take you out. I'm telling you, over and over again, your experience is going to make it clear. I should have held. 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 I should say that like 30 times and make you very frustrated. You got it, Benny? Don't you have a trailing stop system? You don't have to guess, right? I love this game. Guys, do you love it? It's amazing, right? It's life changing. Guys, I'll tell you a story. There was an epiphany I had during my years of trying to make it, trying to be good at this. I was failing miserably. My life was in shambles. It would appear from the outside looking in that I had no direction, that I was going down in flames, but there was still this internal sense, despite everything that my life looked like from the outside looking in, that I was exactly on track. And I woke up with that feeling every morning. I went to bed being really uncertain, but every morning I woke up certain. And this was it for me. And it would break down throughout the day, another terrible day, and I'd be unsure going to bed. And then I'd wake up certain again. It was the waking up certain that kept me going. I don't know what technically or psychologically or spiritually happened during my sleep, but I pretty much woke up certain every morning of my life at that time. But I remember an epiphany coming at one of my darkest moments. It was the moment that fear, the fear of not making it, fell away. And it is at that moment that I realized what was holding me back in a big way was going into every day, going into every trade with this fear present that I might not make it. And I realized from this magical moment onward that that was invading my whole process, that it was affecting my whole approach, that it was affecting my life, that it was holding me back, that it was a major impediment to my progress, and it was silent. My silent enemy, being scared, and it was the unconscious enemy that I didn't realize it was there so prevalently. Every moment, breathing down my neck, you might not make it, Oliver. You might fail at this, Oliver. And it evaded, I realized that it invaded every thought, every feeling, every action, every decision, every moment of my life. Because trading was my life. And when I caught this, when I realized this, I made a decision. And that decision was really to go all the way and face that fear face to face. And this is how I faced it. I said to this whisper that said to me, you may not make it, Oliver. And on that day, I faced that whisper and I answered back. And I said, so what if I don't ever make it? And that whisper almost said, like, what? You're talking back at me? So what? I love this. So what if I don't make it? I love this, and I'm going to continue doing it. So what if I fail at this? I love it. And I'm going to continue doing it. So what if I'm a bum? Bum's not so bad. I'll be a bum. I love doing this. I even went as far as saying, if I'm a bum, I'd like to be a bum in Miami where the weather's nice. I don't want to be a bum in New York where the winters are rather cold. I remember that. That's true. You guys think I'm playing, but I went that far with it. And I convinced myself that some people are bad at things, but they still do it because they love it. Look at all the golfers out there in the world, the hackers, the ones ripping up the beautiful golf course every Saturday. Oh my God, it's painful to watch, but they love it. They're out there 85 years old, whacking at the weeds, missing the ball, breaking windows on the houses along the golf course, filling up ponds with their balls. They love it. They continue. So what? So why not make up your mind that no longer, it doesn't matter how long this takes. It doesn't matter if I never arrive. I will do this until the day I die. And you know what that will do? It will put everything automatically in its proper perspective. There is a fear that runs through every single one of your trades, and that's the fear that I may not make it. That's what you feel. You're not feeling the fear of losing $35 on this trade. Are you kidding me? Guys, some of you would be late for an important appointment, running to your Uber and not even pick up change off the floor. That's not what you're really fearful of. The fear that is running through each one of your trades is that subtle possibility in your mind that I might not be good at this, Still have to pay the rent though. Yeah, you still have to find a way to do that, Carmen, of course. You have to live. You have no right to pursue your dream if it destroys and inconveniences the lives of others around you. You do not have that right. Just because you want to be a great trader, you destroy the lives of others to try to get there. That you can't do, all right? And yes, you should not do what I do, which was not pay the rent and get evicted and live from couch to couch of so-called friends' homes. Like, you should not do that. All right? I want you to do that. I was extra crazy, but I was young, and at 20 years old, you can still bounce back from that, even though I never planned to. If you're 45 with a family, you can't. So you can't destroy their lives trying to do this. So you have to find some way of doing it without it spilling over and affecting negatively the lives of people who touch yours, which touch yours, I should say. All right. I love it.
Hi traders, have you seen the cryptocurrency market? Oh my God, traders, it is on fire. And you know what's weird is that despite the meteoric rise across the entire cryptocurrency market, it's largely being underreported by mainstream financial news networks. Very interesting, but that's a topic for another day. Today, I want to talk a little bit about my historical move into cryptocurrencies, which wasn't all that long ago. Now, what's interesting is that recently I've gotten a lot of comments from people who say, aha, Oliver's gotten into the cryptocurrency market late. I've been playing the cryptocurrency market for 3, 4, 5 years, and Oliver just started and he thinks he's some big giant cryptocurrency expert. No, you're incorrect on 2 fronts. Number 1, I am not an expert by any stretch of the imagination, but every single day I'm becoming more and more astute at this very unique market. Number 2, the second way those comments are wrong is that I was not late. You were just early. Now listen, many people were trying to drag me into this market back in 2016, 2017, and I was having none of it. And I made it very public that I would not touch this market, largely because I needed to see the cryptocurrency market crash. I believed at that particular time it was going through a frenzy, and I do not invest in unfounded frenzies. Now, I felt that after the cryptocurrency market collapsed, and after I was given the ability, afforded the opportunity to see, watch, analyze how this relatively baby market handled its first major crash, I could get a better feel for whether or not I felt the market had longevity. And I do this in the equity market as well. Many of you know that I never touch IPOs, initial public offerings, for this same reason. I miss opportunities, yes, but I will not touch a company until it first goes through its first 1 or 2 crashes. I need to see and monitor the item's survivability. Many things that have an illustrious start experience their first crash and they never amount to anything after that. So this is what I was waiting for in the cryptocurrency market. I needed to see Bitcoin in particular go through its first crash. And in late 2017, we got that. That frenzy in the crypto market took Bitcoin all the way up to brush 20,000. After topping 20,000, lo and behold, Bitcoin experienced its first major crash from 20,000 all the way down to close to $3,000. That is a huge crash. But I wasn't quite satisfied enough. From that low $3,000 price, I watched Bitcoin go to $14,000. And I said to myself, I need just one more drop, one more crash. And if Bitcoin gives me that, I will make my foray into this market. And so from 14,000 more or less, Bitcoin gave me exactly what I was looking for. At the start of this pandemic, it collapsed from 14 all the way down once again to that low $3,000 number. That's all I needed. Now listen to this. When it gave me that, when it did that, on March 12th, I went online with you and made one of the biggest announcements of this entire year. I told you that on this day, March 12th, I would be covering all of my shorts from the equity market. That's right, I was heavily short the market. The world knows that, all of my traders know that. We benefited huge from that collapse in the market. On March 12th, I went public and told you I'm covering all of my shorts and I'm taking the gains, these hefty gains that I made on the drop, and I'm making my first major investment in Bitcoin and in all of the other cryptocurrencies as well. Now, I want to take you back to that announcement just to refresh your memory. But traders, the point is that I have a method, I have an approach. Sometimes that approach causes me to miss some huge opportunities. but I need to see how a market handles trouble. I needed that with this market first. I need that in the stock market. I needed that in the cryptocurrency market. And I need that for my traders as well. A trader is not tested entirely until they go through their first major problem, until they go through their first big, major, troublesome period. That's when you can see what they're really made of. Do they survive, or do they wind up a shell of what they used to be and wind up ultimately leaving the game? The traders that survive the bad times are the traders that go on to have a long, illustrious career in this business. And I apply that theory, I apply that concept to stocks, I apply it to the cryptocurrency market as well. Take a look at my announcement to you and the rest of the world on March 12th.
Hi traders, another crazy but amazing morning in the markets. Limit down once again. You guys should know what that means. I am going to be covering today a good percentage of my shorts. My shorts have allowed me to benefit from this market decline over the last several weeks in a huge historical way. Very pleased about that. I'm going to be covering some of those shorts and potentially looking to reposition for those shorts later on any rebound. I'm also putting out a major buy alert on Bitcoin and the cryptos. So I'll be looking to establish some really heavy long positions, and I'm willing to average down on those long positions with the cryptos, okay? So more to come, guys, more to come. Boom, NASDAQ tomorrow.
So there you have it, traders. There you have it, right here. A perfectly timed, aggressive dive into the cryptocurrency market. And traders, let me just tell you, we went into Bitcoin in the mid $3,000 range. Bitcoin topped $18,000. So far, Ethereum, we went in at $95, and many other times after that, Ethereum just topped $600, 95 to 600. Ripple at 18 cents. Ripple just topped 60 cents. Guys, this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. I am going to rock this market. Despite being a baby, I'm going to rock this market the way I've rocked the equity markets for the last 33 years of my life. You watch me. Since March of this year, I've been doing that, and I've only just begun. There it is. There's my cryptocurrencies. Follow me. Follow my every move. Follow my every buy, my every sell. Learn the reasons behind what I do. Let's do this together. Bitcoin Trading Club. Join it. Join it today. Talk to you soon, traders. Boom!
Oh, yes, traders. Let's get ready. Let's get ready. Let's get ready. Oh yeah, let's get ready, guys. Love it. All right, traders. Just a minute or so more, and we're going to delve into some very interesting things. I'm going to talk to you today. I want to talk to you. I want to take some of your questions. I want you to get to know me a little bit better. Hopefully that'll be interesting to you. This event's going to be held in 3 different languages, traders: English, Spanish, and Portuguese. Now let's make sure that you are in the right location for your respective language. Get some handy questions ready. I'll try to do my best to take a good portion of them. You can ask anything your heart desires. All right, traders. All right. Welcome to another live session with me. Welcome to my home. Welcome to my world, I guess I should say. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope many of you actually are interested in the world of trading, because that's what we're going to be talking about today. I also hope that a good portion of you actually had the ability to attend my last mega free event last Saturday, and it was extraordinarily special. I did my very best to make that event the very best event that I held all year, and if you did not participate in that event last Saturday, I strongly encourage that you do so. It is obviously still available to view. And I'm always telling you that every time I'm offered the opportunity to have a little bit of your time, whenever I'm given the privilege of speaking from a stage or I have a mic in front of me, I do my very best to leave something of value that I believe that my listeners, my followers, my attendees can utilize in the markets, in their daily trading for the rest of their life. That is my little pet peeve with myself. That's the promise that I sit down with every single time I'm afforded this opportunity with you. Now, today's going to be a little bit different. This is sort of a meetup. This is akin to us grabbing a chair in a Starbucks or something, or a coffee shop, and just sitting down and talking. So I want to have the ability to answer some of your questions. The questions have been pouring in hour by hour for us, and I felt this might be a good event to sort of get a good proportion of the most frequently asked questions out of the way. And I am privileged to have a lot of people sort of connected with me over the past several months who really don't know very much about me, my history, what I've done in this industry, what I'm doing now, and why I'm doing it. So I do want to touch upon those things as well, guys, okay? So why don't I just start off like this? I want to for the benefit of those who have no idea who I am, traders, some people might consider me one of the pioneers of the active day trading space in particular. And the reason for this is because I started my professional career on Wall Street in December of 1986. So December 6th of this year, we're only a few days from my anniversary, which sometimes I celebrate. December 6th is my professional anniversary, and December 6th will mark the 34th year that I have been in the professional arena of trading. Traders, I placed my first trade ever when I was 15, almost 16 years old in 1981, March of 1981. I became fascinated with the markets, and I realized back then, traders, that this was something so special that I didn't want to do anything else in life. And I'll tell you something quite personal. My family, my mother and father, had invested their entire parenthood years, or the years that they were parenting me. They dedicated those years to making sure that I would become a professional pianist. That was the dream for me on the part of my parents. And from the age of 3, my parents actually invested heavily in my career, or my future career as a pianist. I started at the age of 3. By the time I was 8 years old, I was playing venues as a pianist, and actually earning money. I traveled throughout the United States. I was involved in all sorts of special programs for piano prodigies. And there was a group of us, about eight special children, that basically traveled the country in a specific program, playing the piano professionally. And the vast majority of my childhood was dedicated to this one activity. I basically was in church. My mother made sure of that most of the days of the week. And I practiced piano for 4 to 5 hours a day for the vast majority of my childhood. A lot of people don't know that, but at the age of 15, something happened. 2 things happened. Number 1, I discovered girls. So I got to this place where, wait a minute, practice piano for 6 hours today, or hang out with some girls. That sort of put a little small wrench into my practice hours and my interest in continuing my piano studies. But more importantly than that, traders, I'll be honest with you, was my discovery that my father had made a huge score and dramatically changed the way we lived. My father had made a huge score in the gold market. Interesting story. And he took the advice of a client of his. My father was a taxi driver and had one special client that he drove to Wall Street every single day from Brooklyn, New York. And this person told him, listen, Dwight, my father's name was Dwight, you've got a newborn son. This is my advice. Every single week you buy 1 ounce of gold. All right, gold is at a price fixed of $35 an ounce. He said, I don't believe it's going to stay fixed. And if and when they unfix the price of gold, if they deregulate the price of gold, gold's going to shoot up. This is going to be a potentially big score for you. My father took that advice and for years actually accumulated quite a decent amount of gold. Well, lo and behold, the price of gold had ultimately become deregulated back in the 70s. Gold ran dramatically from $35 an ounce to over $800 an ounce, really changing the trajectory of my entire family. My father hit a huge score, and I was too young to really understand why my school changed, why my life changed, why the state that I changed, why did our cars change, why did my clothes change, why did we seem to start life all over again? And I was too young to understand it, but I discovered the reason at 15. And I came to this conclusion that if my father could do this for our family with 1 score, I wanted to do this all the time. And I investigated and found out there was a way, there was a possibility to be a trader, to do this for a living. And boom, that's all I needed. That's all I needed. And when I placed my first trade ever, I called up my broker. I opened up a small brokerage account. You had to call back then. There was no computerized trading or anything like that. place my first trade. My first trade was for 12 shares of a company called Eli Lilly. I'll never forget it. And I was debating whether I should do 10 shares or 12 shares, because 12 shares would wipe out the entire account, bring it to zero. But if I bought 10 shares of this stock, it would leave a little bit of change in the account. And I decided, let's just put it all in. Crazy. But I was hooked. And I will tell you, traders, that from that day onward, I've never done a single thing in my life. I am 54 and a half now. More than 54 and a half. I'll be 55 in February. And from that day, at 15 years old, I never have done another activity in my life. I've never had another desire to do anything else. I have never had a plan B. I never wanted anything else in life but this from the age of 15 years old. I have never permanently worked for anyone in my entire life. My dream, my goal from the age of 15 has always been to be a professional market participant. And while my beginning years of achieving that, becoming that, were not easy, while I went through hardships, while I disappointed my parents, I crushed them with my leaving the world of professional piano playing to this world that my parents felt or believed was just gambling. It was not easy during my first 6 years of trying to really go in this direction and do this professionally and do it the right way. I entered college and took up accounting, not because I wanted to become an accountant. I took up accounting because I felt that was the closest topic to help me be able to pick apart a company, to find out how companies operated, what made them tick, how they made their money. I wanted to be able to pull a company apart and put it back together. Only because I felt that that would help me in my daily market activity. And it took me 6 years to actually turn the corner. So I went through 6 years of constant losing, 6 years of being destroyed, 6 years of blowing up accounts, 6 years of losing a tremendous amount of money. And because I did not have access to a huge amount of money, traders, I borrowed it. I borrowed it from family members who remembered what happened to my father and felt that I was going to be the next star. I borrowed it from friends of family members. And at the end of the day, after a 6-year period, I was negative before I turned the corner, before I started tasting progress and having my first glimpses of success at this. I was negative over $700,000. That's right, $700,000 negative in the hole. And I had to pay that back. But I did not make a turn, and I did not see any progress. I did not see any light. I did not see any hope, which made it very difficult to continue every single day until after 6 years. It was crazy. That fateful day, December in 1986, I was accepted by a firm on Wall Street and had a fairly illustrious career over 8 years. And that's a long time on the street, by the way. 8 years, I did extraordinarily well and better each year. And I got so good that my reputation on the street began to spread. So other firms began to invite me, traders, to their firms to speak to groups of their traders. We would do this after the open. And so over a period of time, many of the traders on the street and many of the firms throughout Wall Street got to know me. And this led me to wanting to start my own advisory company, wanting to start my own money management firm, which I did in September of 1994. So 8 years into my professional career as a trader. Traders, I'll show you this. I'll show this to you very quickly. See if I get this right here. In 1994, I started a company called Pristine Capital Management. And again, this is just to give you a little background. We're talking, guys. We're having a cup of coffee together, and I'm giving you a little bit of my background. And largely, I want you to understand why I believe I have a right to speak to you, why I believe I have a right to raise my hand and say, let's do this together. I have a right to guide you. I have a right to be your mentor. And a lot of people don't have that right. They assume that right, but they don't really have it because they haven't earned the right to be a guide for you, to be a mentor as it relates to professional trading. So guys, in 1994, I started this company called Pristine Capital Management. Now, many people will know this company today as Pristine.com. Over a 12-year period, I grew this company into an international powerhouse. It became one of the top-ranked trading organizations in the entire industry. Guys, in 1998, Barron's ranked me and my firm #1 in America and stated that if you want professional trading services, if you want professional trading anything, you go to Oliver Velez and Pristine. And that was one of the greatest honors of my life, to be ranked #1 in Barron's, which is the institutional Bible as it relates to this industry, traders. A year later, Dow Jones would dub me the Messiah of trading. And in 1999 and 2000, 2 years back to back, the trading industry in 1999 started its first international expo, the very first one in 1999, and they chose me to be the representative of the entire trading industry. I gave the inaugural keynote speech. That speech became a very famous speech that continues to float around the world today. And in that speech, I predicted many things like no commissions for retail trading and direct access trading directly from your computer without the need for anyone in between you and the markets. These were predictions of mine back in 1999 that we saw came true. I had that honor again the following year in 2000, and I was given that honor once again this year in, I believe, March of 2000 or April of 2000. 2020, I should say, this year. I am also, traders, the author of 5 international best-selling books on the topic of trading. These 5 books, traders, are written in 5 different languages. My books are written in English, Spanish, German, Mandarin, and Japanese. And these 5 books continue to be the biggest selling trading books of all time. And I will tell you that that is not by any mistake. Now, I don't want you to, traders, I don't want you to take this as me bragging, because that's the last thing that I don't want this to come off like that. But I do want you to understand that there is a certain pedigree that I want you to know that you have in me. This is, you are not speaking or dealing with someone who just came on the scene 2 years ago. You're not dealing with someone who discovered trading 4 years ago and is claiming to be an expert. You are not dealing with a 27-year-old who claims to be able to know how to make millions of dollars in the market. For whatever reason, our industry today seems to be full of that. And I want you to understand that that is not what you have here. You have one of the pioneers in this space. You have someone who is recognized as being one of the pioneers, who has been lauded, who has been awarded, and who has been extraordinarily active in helping to build this industry brick by brick over the past 3 decades. Now, I'm not going to say I'm the only one in the industry with that pedigree, but I'm one of the very few that's left today. So that is what you have in me. Today, traders, I sold my company, Pristine, to go on to do something which I thought was actually more special, and that was to really make come true my ultimate dream, my ultimate goal, which is and was and is to bring professional style Wall Street to Main Street, to bring professional style trading that I've done most of my life to virtually every single regular human being that has access to a laptop computer or a desktop computer and an internet connection. I believe, traders, that trading is potentially one of those solutions to all of the world's social ills. There are 3 dominant lacks in this world. Well, 4, depending upon how you look at it. But there are 3 to 4 major lacks. These lacks are what divides the world into certain classes. There is a classist system that exists, and it's these lacks that create that classist system. Number 1, there is a lack of education and training. Now, we all know that traders, those who are educated and well-trained, live a very different life and are regarded as very different individuals than those who are uneducated and untrained. The uneducated and untrained in this world, on this planet, will live very differently and will have a very different set of opportunities from those who are well educated and well trained at some skill or craft. So one of the things that separates people into these 2 groups, education and training. Number 1. Number 2, there is the lack of access to capital. And that's a huge separator of people. You see, there's a large number of people who have no access to money. So it doesn't matter what ideas they have. It doesn't matter what dreams they have. The lack of access to capital to make those ideas and dreams become a reality is what separates people as well. Those who have access to money, I don't know about other planets, guys, but on this planet, those who have access to money are regarded differently than those who have access to no money. And so you have education and training, the lack of education, the lack of training, and the lack of money. These are the 3 large divides that separate people. Now, some people regard education and training as being the same. It's really not. Education is more fundamental. Education is more like going to medical school and learning with books. And education in our field would be watching YouTube videos. That's education. Going to a seminar, that's education, but that's not training. Watching a YouTube video on trading is education. It is not training. All right? Education is fundamental. Education is important. Education sets the foundation. But education without training is actually useless. Learning all the medical terms that a doctor uses in class is not useful if you have not been trained to be a doctor. So while both are necessary, training is far more important than education. Training comes after education, but it is far higher on the totem pole of importance than education. And so we've got a lot of people in this industry are educated up the wazoo. They've got education pouring out of their ears, but does that mean that they're trained? They can talk to you and sound very intelligent because they have become educated, but that does not mean that you are trained. And so we need education and training. Training is what a doctor, what a medical student then, after graduating from med school, goes into an internship where they're working at an actual hospital. They're working they're working with real patients. They're administering real solutions, real medication, participating in real operations. They are dealing with sicknesses and helping to heal. Actually, it's no longer theory. It's no longer textbook. It's on the job training. And that's what a lot of people are missing in this industry. They've got education. They've read a lot of books. They've gone to a lot of seminars. They've watched a lot of YouTube videos, but they are not trained. And that is not what I want you to be. I don't want you to be one of these empty, educated people walking around here claiming that you know all that you need to know, but you can't actually put it into practice because you're not properly trained. So training is extraordinarily important. Now, if you are well-trained traders, but yet you don't have access to money, then how do you make the training useful? How do you add utility to your training? Education is useless without training. Training is useless without money, without the opportunity to apply your training with money to something. And this is the ultimate form of lack. It is a travesty. It is a crime to become educated and then to become trained but have no access to the appropriate amount of capital to turn that training into something life-changing for yourself. And so why do I talk to you about this? I talk to you about this because when I had my dream to bring professional style trading to every regular individual that I possibly could, because I started in this business as a regular individual, I realized that if I were going to do this, I have to provide these three lacks. How can I spread the gospel of trading to you or anyone else? How can I go to India and China, which I have done? How can I go throughout all of Europe, which I have done? How can I go through South America, which I've done, and all throughout the United States, spreading the gospel of trading and bringing regular individuals into this business in ways that can change their life? How can I do that if I'm not providing them with the proper amount of education, but not just there, the proper amount of hands-on training, real hands-on training, real training in the market? And most importantly, how can I do it without providing those people with money, with capital? And so when I took this huge decision, I had to sell my other firm. I had to go in a different direction because the partner that I had with my first firm did not believe in this dream. And so I sold my company, or my portion of it, and I went in this direction of wanting to educate, train, and fund the world as best I possibly can. And I've been doing this for a number of years, and the dream every single day is becoming a reality. Today, traders, today, we are over 10,000 traders strong. These traders span over 90 some odd different countries. There are obviously different levels of development and so forth and so on, but that is quite impressive. That makes us one of the biggest and most powerful organizations on the planet as it relates to this industry. All right. I continue to advise and speak for financial organizations globally. And so that is where I've come from. That, traders, is how I got involved in the markets. How that has led me to what I do today and why I do it today. I believe that there's power in numbers. And so I want to create a powerful trading army that is spread all over the world, and that army gives us the ability to profit together in a much bigger way than we can individually. Now, I want to talk to you about things that you should know about my programs and what I do. All right, very important. And I will take some of your questions. I just want to get through this, guys. I want to talk to you about things that are important for you to know. Number one, I do not sell courses, traders. I want you to get that out of your mind. What I offer you is not a course. What I offer you is a business. I put traders in business. I am not interested in teaching you and saying goodbye at the end of a course. That is not what I do. That is not what I'm interested in. I am interested in going into business with you. I am interested in training you, educating you, and funding you. I am interested in being your Harvard University as well as your Citibank. I want to give you the proper amount of money that's necessary to do this professionally. I never want you to risk your own capital doing this. I don't want you to go the route that I went, where I lost over $700,000 trying to learn this. I don't want that for you. I don't want you risking a single penny of your capital. But I am a businessman. I want to go in business with you. Now, I want you to understand that what I do is I put traders in business. I set their business up. I put the money into their business and we share the profits. That is what I do. I do not sell courses. I do not offer just training. I offer trading businesses. Now, I know that this is not for everyone. It's not supposed to be for everyone, traders. It's not supposed to be. All right? And so, if it's not for you, that's fine. But if you feel that playing the markets can potentially change your life the way it has changed mine and thousands upon thousands of other people, then this just might be the opportunity for you. All right? So let's understand this. What I'm offering you is not a course. I don't do that. I don't sell courses. I am offering you a trading business. I want you, if you're interested, to go into your own trading business. And I want to fund it so that you don't have to risk your family's money. That is what I do. And traders, that is how I started in the business. When I started for a firm, I got a chair at a firm. I was paid $25,000 as a base salary with incentives on my trading profits. That's not a lot of money. I mean, we were talking about the middle of the 1980s, but $25,000 base and percentages of my trading profits. Out of my $25,000, which was crazy. Well, out of my profits first came a seat charge. So as I started to become profitable, the firm would deduct a $1,000 a month seat charge. They called it a seat charge at the time. So there was a $1,000 a month fee that I had to pay the firm out of my portion of the trading profits, just for the right to have a chair, just for the right to use all the services in the firm. That's crazy. But this firm funded me. I did not have to put very much of my capital on the line. And I got started with an arrangement not quite as good as this arrangement, but this is how I got initiated into the market as well. All right. Your entrance into this business, like all businesses, traders, you're going to have to put something up. I had to put something up. You're going to have to put something up, but that something is very small. That upfront fee helps pay for a lifetime of support and training while you develop as a trader. Traders, I want you to understand that there is nothing free on Wall Street. You know that. It costs money every single hour of your existence to train you, to develop you, to support you, the staff that supports you, the professional traders that spend time with you every hour of the trading day, making sure you're doing the right thing, making sure you're progressing, making sure you're doing what's necessary to become a better and better trader. Well, that does cost to do that. And that's what your upfront fee helps the organization continue to do for life. What I'm going to offer you today is a lifelong program, guys. There is no expiration point. Okay? This upfront fee is 100% refundable. And we'll talk about that. And so you can make this entire professional trading career absolutely free. You will never have to fund your trading. That will be taken care of for you. And whatever upfront fee you pay, you can get 100% of it back. Meaning that not only do you not ever have to fund your own trading, but your upfront fee goes to zero. Now, your real investment is really the trading platform. Now, think about this, guys. To be in this incredible business that requires nothing more than a laptop computer and an internet connection, a business where you are totally independent and free and can trade from any location on planet Earth anytime you want. Your cost to be in this incredible business that allows you to be done in 20 minutes or 30 minutes each day, if you like. That cost is less than $3 a day. What business allows you all the benefits that professional trading allows you? Independence, freedom, time, no need to travel, no boss, laptop computer, internet connection, and that's it for less than $3 a day. Unlimited upside. It's incredible. These are the things that attracted me many years ago and continue to attract traders every single day today. So understand that, like all businesses, there is some upfront fee. But I want you to understand, in my business program, your upfront fee will come back to you if you do the right thing. Your upfront fee is 100% refundable. And I want you to get it refunded. And once that's the case, your only cost is less than $3 a day. And your question has to be, is this an activity that can generate more than $3 a day? And if you believe that trading can generate more than $3 a day, and this has got to be for you. If you believe that it can't generate on average more than $3 a day, then it's not for you. If you believe you have the capability with the right education and training to generate more than $3 in your trading on average each day, then I believe that every single individual who believes that should give this an opportunity. It just might be the opportunity of your life. It just might change your life the way it changed mine. There are no guarantees, of course, but it just might do that. Something else, guys. So this is your business. It is not mine, what I'm about to explain to you. This is not my business. This is your business. You are starting your own business. This is a business that's in your name. You trade when you want to trade. You trade how often you want to trade. You trade from where you want to trade. You are not operating my business. You are operating your business. I am the investor in your business. I am your educator. I am your trainer. I am your mentor, but I am also your investor, making it possible for you to never risk a single penny of your own money. So I want you to understand this. I do not tell my traders when to trade. They trade when they want to trade. I do not tell them how often they need to trade. They trade as often as they want to. It's their business. I am only the trainer, the educator, their mentor, which I will educate and train you every single day of your life as long as you have my capital at your disposal. And I am your investor. I am your bank. Imagine if universities did this. You went to school for 4 years, you paid them an enormous amount of capital or money to be there to get your degree. And then at the end of graduation, they said, we're so amazed at your 4 years of education with us. We want to absolutely invest in your next business idea. Whatever it is that you want to do, we're going to put the money in. You don't have to put the money in. We're going to risk on you because we believe so explicitly in how we've educated you, how we've trained you, that we want to put our money into your future. We want to put our money into your next endeavor. What if universities did this throughout the world? They would be far more useful as far as I'm concerned. But that is what you have here. You have the university that is going to educate you and train you, and that university is going to actually convert itself into being a bank that funds your business endeavor. Both. So I am your Harvard University and your Citibank. I use Citibank just largely because it's a bank that a lot of people throughout the world know, but I am your Bancolombia or your JP Morgan or your Bank of America. You know, you get the point. All right? You get the point. Now, here is something that I'm constantly getting. Well, Oliver, what if I just want to do this myself? I like your style of training and educating. I want to learn more, but I want to trade with my own capital. I want to do it myself. And I get this all the time. I don't want to share profits with you, Oliver. I want to be 100% independent, and I want to trade my own capital. I don't want to share profits. Well, I get it, but I hope I can encourage you that that's not the most intelligent path to take. First of all, no professional trader trades with their own capital. No trader on Wall Street trades with his own capital. No professional trader at a hedge fund is trading his own capital. No professional trader at a money management firm is trading his own capital. At a mutual fund is trading his own capital. No professional trader at a bank is trading his own capital. No professional trader, even independent on his own, is trading his own capital. Only novices trade with their own capital. Only a novice real estate businessman would use all of his money to buy his houses to sell or to build his houses. No, professional businessmen, they don't use their own money. They use other people's money. Why? Because other people's money is far bigger than their money is, and they can make more when it's other people's money. I'm telling traders all the time that if you do this yourself, you have to have a minimum in your trading account at any brokerage firm that you open up in the world, TD Ameritrade, whatever, and Interactive Brokers, whatever brokerage firm you open in a trading account with. If you want to day trade, there is a law that requires that you have a minimum of $25,000 at all times in the account. If your account slips $1 below $25,000, you no longer have the right to day trade the market. This is the law. This is not a rule by the firm. This is a law, a federal law. All right, it's called the pattern day trading rule. All right, you need $25,000 of your own capital. If you use margin on that, you will pay 5 to 7% interest. 5 to 7% interest on the margin. And that is, no one's going to educate you and no one's going to train you. That's going the route on your own. Now, I was forced to go this route on my own because when I started back in the early 1990s, there were no programs, there were no seminars, there were no courses, there was no YouTube videos, there were no expositions to go to. There was nothing. You just opened up an account and you tried. You just trade and you tried and you tried. But there was no guidance. There were no mentors in the early 1980s. And so the go it your alone route is so extraordinarily more expensive, and it's more difficult, and the odds are greater against you. No one on Wall Street does this. No one. Now, if you go the route that I put traders through all over the world, instead of $25,000 or more, you need, I think this is wrong, you need $1,300, let's say. It's actually $1,600, but $1,300 to $1,600, that's it. So you go from $25,000 to needing $1,300. In addition to that, that $1,300 is 100% refundable, traders. I'll explain that. It comes back to you. That's crazy. So we go from needing $25,000 to needing $1,300. We go from paying 5 to 7% on your margin interest. If you use margin on the 25 into day trade, you're going to need to use margin on that. So you're going to pay 5 to 7% interest on your money. All right? And you go from all of that to needing only $1,300, which is going to come back to you if you do the right thing, which is 100% refundable. And your only cost to be in the business is $2.83 per day. That's crazy to be in the best business in the world. And you'll receive training and education every single day of your life. Not for a year, not for 5 years, forever. This is not a course. This is a business. This is the Harvard University business program of trading. All right. Now, what I want to do, so I believe that it is not smart to go the I do it my own route. Now, some traders say, well, Oliver, what if I have $1 million to trade with? I'd like to go on my own with $1 million. And then I say, well, okay, what if you gained access to $2 million? Wouldn't you be more profitable trading $2 million than trading $1 million, even if you gave up a little bit of your profitability? Isn't receiving less on 2 million better than receiving all on 1 million? Of course. In most cases, of course. And so this is what I'm constantly educating traders on. In business, as a general rule, and this is a business, you don't use your own capital. No professional is doing that. Only regular novice people opening up little accounts at brokerage firms use all of their money. That is not how the professional world operates. And what I'm offering you is a professional foray into this business. All right. So let me talk to you very quickly about how we do this. Okay? Now, I will be taking some of your questions, I promise. Every trader that signs on to be a family member, it signs on to take this journey with me, and it signs on to open up their trading business this way. That trader goes through training, education. That trader is constantly educated every single day through breakout sessions, training sessions, study sessions, live trading with professional traders by your side every single day, learning, developing, getting better, being guided, being mentored, being watched, being nurtured, never being alone. This trader with that education has to graduate. All right? So they will start off with training. Remember, there are two things. There's education, and then there's training, right? Okay? The two things. Education is one thing, the study sessions, the breakout sessions, the mentoring, all of that falls into the education category. The training part is here. This is where you go out into the market and you trade. You put into practice what you've been taught, what you've been trained on, what you've been educated on. And you're going to do this training with a $50,000 practice account. Now, listen carefully. You must demonstrate your ability to make $3,000. You can make this $3,000 over a long period of time or a relatively short period of time. There is no time limit on it. You can make this $3,000 goal $1 a day. All right, it would take you 3,000 days to get there, but you can do it. Okay? So I'm saying that it's not make $3,000 in a day. It's not make $3,000 in a month. It's whenever you make $3,000. Boom. Congratulations. You've graduated and become a full-fledged professional trader. And that would complete the training. So you would have the education, you'd complete the training by achieving your $3,000 goal, and here is where your business, our business, begins. That $50,000 becomes real. Which means that every time you hit the buy and sell button, here, it goes all the way to the market and then stops. That's the only difference. Here, it's for real. It goes all the way to the market and boom, connects. The only difference is that the order goes all the way through when your business starts for real. Now, at level 1, you will start off with $50,000. I am going to fund you. You do not ever have to put a single penny of your capital into this. All my funding. Now, your goal is to make $3,000. You make $3,000, you get 40% of all gains. Listen, these gains are paid out to you once a month. All right, usually around the 20th of the 21st of each month or so. 40% of the gains, 60% comes to me. All right? It's a business. We're in business together. But I am the investor. I am the funder. Whenever the investor puts money in, the investor usually earns the right to earn more. Okay? You're risking zero capital. All right? Boom. You get 40%. I get 60%. Once you achieve this $3,000 goal, I put $100,000 in your account to play with. With this $1,000, your goal is now to make $6,000. You get 40% of the gains. I get 60% of the gains. Right? Now, it doesn't mean that you have to make $6,000 before you get paid out. No. If this month you made $1,500, you get 40% of $1,500. If the next month you made $3,000, you get 40% of the $3,000. It is when you accumulate $6,000 in gains at this level, you go to level 3. Now I put $250,000 in your account to play with, and your goal is $10,000. You get 40%, I get 60%. Once you pass that level, and you start the big leagues with $500,000. At the $500,000 level, your goal is $25,000. Again, you get 40%. I get 60%. Now, this chart goes on and on and on. This is just enough for you to get the point. There are levels, level 5, there's all the way through level 11 traders. All right? But this is just to show you the first 4 levels. Okay? Now, some people say, well, Oliver, what's the potential here? All of that depends on you, of course. Now, I have some traders that are making, some traders are making $800 to $1,000 a day. I have some traders that are doing closer to $3,000 to $5,000 a day. Much smaller number, of course. I've got many traders doing $300 to $500 a day, $300 to $500 in an hour. But your number, if you progress, will change. It'll start off small, making $50, $60, $80, and it will grow from there. Making $100 to $200, $300 to $500. These are achievable goals along the way. $500 to $1,000. And these numbers are not large at all. These are very, very ordinary numbers in the professional trading world. $1,000 to $3,000 in a day, that's extraordinarily normal in the world. No one's going to be super amazed at that. Now, guys, at my peak, I was making approximately between 38,000 and 50 some odd $1,000 an hour. Now, I'm not saying per day. When I left the street, I was doing anywhere between 38,000 and 55,000 an hour. But I had a large trading account, what some people refer to as a super large trading account. But that is what I was generating for the firm. All right. So, the sky's the limit. Everything depends on you. No one presses your buy and sell buttons except you, traders. No one. You're the buyer and seller. You're the trader. Yes, you're taught, you're educated, you're trained, but at the end of the day, you're the decision maker. Everything falls on you, and that's what I love about this business. You can't ever blame anyone else except yourself, and I would not have it any other way. I don't want to be in something where something else or someone else can ruin my chances of success. Put it all on me. I'll take 100% of the responsibility. All right? Now, someone's asking, King Odin is asking, well, Oliver, how does the loss work, the loss side work? So, traders, making $3,000 with $50,000 is not the hard part. Listen to me carefully. Making $3,000 with $50,000, that's not challenging. I mean, guys, you can actually make $3,000 in one trade in one day with $50,000. You hit the right trade at the right time, $3,000 will come like that. The $3,000 is not the challenge. You know what the challenge is? You have to make the money responsibly. You have to make the $3,000 professionally. So if you look at that chart, what you will see is something very interesting, right? You will see, guys, that you can't make the $3,000. I need a charger here. Give me a second. You can't make the $3,000 without, you can't make the $3,000 and at the same time lose a lot. So you can't lose more than $300 on any given day. That's the key. Take a look, guys. Take a look carefully. Take a look. Look at this. Take a look. Here is what makes it not so easy, traders. I will never tell you that this is easy because it's not easy. I will never say that. That's the last thing I will ever say to you. Now look at your maximum loss per day, $300. And this has actually been changed, believe it or not, $200, but that doesn't matter. You can't, $300 a day and maximum $600, right, on any given week. So you have to make the $3,000 without ever letting the account go into negative territory deeply. Once you lose $300 in any given day, you're cut off. If you lose $600 on any given week, you're cut off. If you lose $300 or more on any given day, you're cut off until the next